My name is Brent Coleman. I'm the Director of Support Services here at Maryland Addiction Recovery Center. In my role here at MARC, I oversee the support staff, what we call therapeutic assistants or TAs. The TAs are the direct support staff who creates relationships with the patients, help support the clinical staff, and help patients when they're away from the clinical services and at our extended care campus, the community living. The TAs here at MARC are intimately involved with the patient care, working with therapists as a team, the therapist handling the clinical work while the TAs focus more on the recovery and life skills development. This relationship between the clinical team and the TAs provides the best possible patient care and overall treatment experience. I think the MARC community living environment is really like none other in the treatment space. It's not your standard inpatient or residential 28-day rehab. There's way more support than a recovery house or a sober living. The community living component at MARC is really meant to effectively be a community reintegration model where patients go through phases of treatment while learning to live independently and learning how to navigate early recovery. Our community living campus is an apartment building. It's staffed 24/7 with TAs and separated by gender. Patients live in a fully renovated 2-bedroom apartment, no more than 3 patients per apartment. Each apartment has a full kitchen, living room, TV, washer dryer. It's really similar to an off-campus apartment during college. There's also a secluded area with a gazebo, volleyball court, grills to have cookouts, cornhole, other recreational activities. Patients also have access to our gym to lift weights, work out, which is located at our Phase 3 house down the street. The community living campus is meant to recreate an organic living environment for patients outside the clinical space, a place that is really their own apartment, their home. This allows them to take ownership, to be respectful of it, and to learn to take care of it. Patients learn to become independent through basic responsibilities and life skills with the support of the TA staff. This includes keeping a clean apartment, doing their own shopping on a budget, cooking their own meals. Every week we transport them to the grocery store so they can get what they need for the week. All this is supported and guided by the TA staff, who also work with the clinical team to be aware of different patient issues that may arise and support that may be needed. While independence and life skills are learned and practiced, this type of model also supports peer accountability and connection to the patient community. We want them to feel connected, to support one another, to help each other through difficult times, celebrate their accomplishments, and to help them hold each other accountable as adults. This type of extended care model also supports community reintegration. We're not an inpatient facility, so patients are not restricted to the campus outside of clinical hours. From day one, they're permitted to go on approved passes with sober supports or MARC alumni for up to 6 hours. They can go to meetings, go to dinner, get coffee, anything recreational that's appropriate for someone in early recovery. If they do get involved in 12-step recovery, they can also go with their sponsor or have their sponsor come to the apartments to meet with them. We also connect each patient with an alumni buddy, which is someone that has successfully completed the MARC program and that they can call regularly or go on pass with as well. We really want each patient to work on their own personal recovery outside of the treatment program, whether that's AA, NA, Smart Recovery, or any other type of community recovery support system. For patients that don't go out on pass, we also bring them to meetings in the evening just to help them get acquainted with the local recovery community. The importance of selflessness and giving back is key to recovery, so the TA staff also coordinates volunteering events. We've taken patients to volunteer at food banks, homeless shelters, animal rescues, and other community-based organizations. And we want them to understand the power and importance of community. So patients take part in local recovery activities like recovery walks, sober softball leagues, and tournaments. Other recovery-related activities and various related fundraisers. Recreationally, we like the patients to begin cultivating a healthy, holistic approach to their lives. So we have them engage in fitness, recreational activities, outdoor hikes, and other athletic events and experiences. We've done ropes courses and other types of community building recreational activities too. Socially, we make sure that the community learns to have fun in recovery. We've done bowling outings, laser tag, and most recently during COVID, the patients went to a rented out theater just to enjoy a movie for the day. The purpose of this is that patients begin to learn how to live a fulfilling life while in treatment, getting support from the clinical team and the TAs through the process, and doing so in their own organic living environment. They get to interact with the outside world daily and begin to start their personal recovery journey while they still receive clinical services. They can challenge themselves, they can get uncomfortable, they can mess up, make mistakes. The MARC team is there to support them during that whole process. They learn that they can walk through discomfort, difficult emotions, and not have to go back to drugs and alcohol. They can learn to be responsible, self-supporting adults while in the safe, supportive environment of MARC. As patients pass through the treatment at MARC into later phase like vocational or college success program, they begin working, going back to school, they drop down in clinical services, and they are able to move into phase 3 living. At which point they begin getting less oversight at the apartments and more freedom as they continually demonstrate to be a responsible and upstanding member of the patient community. When they reach phase 3, the female patients are able to move into a phase 3 apartment, which is more like a traditional sober living, and the men can move down the street into our phase 3 house. At this point, patients have been working, going to classes, have an active recovery plan, and they begin paying rent. The TA staff still oversees them and supports them, but they are more independent than early on in the program with more freedom. Eventually, when a patient has successfully completed MARC and moved out from a phase 3 living, they leave treatment with a life that is already working, where they found a purpose and a direction. They are employed, back in school, paying bills, meeting daily responsibilities, working in an active recovery program. They've re-engaged in healthy relationships with their families, and basically where they are thriving in life. This decreases many of the issues or pitfalls that happen when patients leave treatment. At MARC, they leave with a fulfilling life that they've already been successfully living.